Holland again from the far end. And this is driven nicely by Imam up towards mid-off, and they scamper through for a quick run. Two without loss in the 12th over. 2-7 to win. A bit of solid form for this opening pair. Building on their starts at Beckenham on Saturday as Holland comes over the wicket and it's driven down towards mid-off again by Fakar. And they go through for a quick single, warmly appreciated by the Pakistan balcony. Away to our left-hand side. I can only imagine some milestone has been overcome here. I think he's got a 50.
50 for Fakar.
Yes, there it is. He has got a 50.
It says 45 on the scoreboard, and there were shouts from the Pakistan balcony as
Holland comes in. This is turned away by Imam through square leg. Zaber's out on the square boundary to our right hand for a single to end the over. So 12 gone, and the score definitely now is 84 without loss. And Zaman goes to 50, I think, in 38 balls with 7 boundaries and the 1-6. So it is a 6 apiece. The 6 that was hit out of the ground was actually off the bat of Imam. Over deep square, away to the right-hand side. I think that's where some of the confusion has stemmed from. But Fakar has 30, Imam has 30. Fakar has 50, Imam has 31. And the score after 12 overs is 84 without loss.
Yeah, some shouts from the Pakistan balcony saying "Hamare paas 50 hai," which means, according to us, you've got 50. So he raised his bat, and there we have it.
Here's Azarwala for his second over with his very flat run-up, and this is pushed away from the crease by Imam. Through square leg, they run the first one hard, but Buck is in quickly off the mid-wicket boundary to our left, and they get just a single. So Imam goes to 32, 85 without loss, the start of the 13th over here, Pakistan, chasing 274. Well, at least the Pakistanis knew what their teammate was on.
Yeah, can we get their scorer to operate these scoreboards? Seem to be on it, don't they?
Yeah, presumably they had their own analyst down there flicking through the numbers. Azar is in, and Fakar is defending out towards mid-wicket. Richard Levy is there, and there is no run. So over the winter, Azarwala was playing for Pakistan television in the Pakistan domestic competitions. Played 4 first-class matches and 3 List A matches, all Christmas these, and took some wickets along the way as well. 4 against Karachi, 7 in an innings against the Southern Gas Company. This is a swing outside the off-stump and a miss from Zaman. Nothing for him against a team calling themselves ZTBL. And then 10 in the match against my favourite Pakistan domestic team, the Water and Power Development Authority.
Wow.
Who I think Azar did play for earlier in his career before he first came to the UK. Azar in here, past the umpire, and this is turned away through square leg by Fakar. And again, Nathan Buck coming in to do the fielding away to our left-hand side. They get a single, 86 without loss.
Did he have a bit more going on up top on his head? A bit more hair when he was rocking it here at Northampton?
Not really, no.
No?
No.
Never been truly blessed up there, has he?
Sadly not. He turns, shirt untucked, and goes in again, right arm over, and Imam pushes, not past backward point, a half save there. Good piece of fielding from Tom Sol, tumbling to his right hand side. They will get through for the single. 87 without loss. Now I heard they were trying to do away with the teams in Pakistan that were owned by the likes of the Water and Power Development Authority and go back to the old regional teams, likes of Karachi, etc., Lahore. As Azhar goes in again. And pulled away by Fakar out towards the mid-wicket defence, away to our left-hand side. Nathan Buck again doing the work, this time to his right-hand side. Just a single more, 88 without loss in the 13th over.
It has been a bit of uproar in Pakistan because they have announced, I think, the sort of rejig of their first-class system. And I believe there are 8 first-class teams from now on. That's what will be the case. And a lot of people in Pakistan saying that's simply not enough because of the fact that there's a population of 190 million people. If you look to England, for example, 60 million population, and there are 18 first-class teams. In India, there are 37 first-class teams, of course, much bigger population of well over 1 billion. But just the 8 teams playing first-class cricket from now on in Pakistan.
Will there be a layer below that then, at a sort of development?
I'm not sure. I assume there will be, because there'll be a lot of cricketers who won't be getting first-class contracts.
Definitely. 88 without loss here, the Pakistanis. And Ian Holland from the far end is bowling to Fakhar Zaman, who opens the face on this and steers it to Azhar at third man away to our left-hand side. And they go through for a single, 89 without loss. Zaman to 53. I think the scoreboard to our right is now up to date. I think both scoreboards, well, not quite. I think the one to our left has still got a few too many in favour of Iman. But we shall see. It's Iman on strike here, facing Holland, and he comes forward and also just gently opens the face, steers it down to Azhar. They're going to come for a second run here. Very sharp second run, and had the throw from Azhar been a little better, then Imam would have been really struggling. Scrambled back. Adam King, the deputy wicketkeeper here for Northamptonshire, had to go a few yards to his right to take that. Through at the stumps, and in that motion it gave Imam the chance to get home. There was a sharply taken second, but they picked out the right fielder. In Azhar away to our left-hand side. Holland comes in again. All's very full. Gets driven down the ground. It came with the fingertips of the bowler and almost into the non-strikers' end stumps. In the end, they go through for a single, so 92 without loss, and Imam goes to 36 now. And in South Africa as well, there's changes to their first-class system, abandoning the franchises. They're going back to the traditional old clubs for next summer, as Holland comes in. This is swung up over mid-wicket by Fakhar Zaman, and he gets a boundary out towards the bank of white seats on the far side of the ground. That was a bit of an ugly hack, really, sitting in his crease, but he picks up a boundary and goes to 57, 96 without loss in the 14th over.
Yeah, it was in his arc, though. Anything that full and into his sort of pads region. Big gap over on the leg side as well, past mid-wicket.
Holland in again, and Zaman trying to go leg side again. This time only finds short mid-wicket. And there is no run. Curran in there, who pulled off that spectacular piece of fielding earlier on in the innings. Pull out to deep square, looked at be sailing away for 6, and then didn't quite carry the rope, and Curran was able to leap back over the boundary to bat it back into play. It was a tremendous piece of work as Holland comes in again. This is a slower ball turned away by Fakhar out to Zabe, running away from the big screen away to our right. And they get a single to end the 14th over. 96 without loss are the Pakistanis, chasing 274 to win here.
Zaman's 50 came off 38 balls with 7 fours, 1 6.
Confirmation of Zaman's numbers. It's been anything to watch as ever. But Imam's played nicely too. 3 boundaries for him as well so far. It's been an excellent opening partnership. No trouble at all See this chase rattling along and above the runner ball so far. As to continue from the 1-2 road end. Bowls to Thacker, who's forward, just defending out on the onside, and there's no run. As I've got a back playing club cricket in this country. Appeared for several second 11s last summer. Was released by Northamptonshire at the end of the 2017 season. But he also, like the Pakistani bowlers, does nothing for the over rate, because he charges in off a very long run. And away he goes again. And it's pulled away. No timing on the stroke from Thacker, but he squirts it away past mid-wicket for a couple of runs. Charlie Thurston now patrolling the Clark Road side of the ground to our left, collects down to his right, and they get a couple more. So 99 without loss here, the Pakistanis, and Thacker goes to 60.
So he's a freelance cricketer now then?
Yes, yeah. I'm not quite sure where. I think he was playing as a professional somewhere in club cricket. He might have been in Staffordshire last year, actually. Ball's full here. This is clipped away to mid-wicket. And Richard Levy gets down to his left-hand side. And there is no run. Here is certainly full-time professional career came to an end a couple of years ago. But he hasn't chucked the towel in just yet. Moves in again here in a short sleeve shirt. Past umpire White, and decent length. Brings Thacker forward, pushing back a little awkwardly to the bowler's left hand. And there is no run. Yeah, last summer he was playing for Port Hill Park in the North Staffordshire and South Cheshire Premier League.
It's a pretty good standard up there.
Yeah, both Staffordshire and Cheshire, one of the strong minor counties. As it goes in again, very full, driven, thickish inside half of the bat, out towards Levy at mid-wicket, no run. Traditionally have a strong link with Derbyshire, Staffordshire. The Warwickshire have muscled in on the arrangement in recent years. They have a more formal link-up now with Staffs. 99 without loss. Azza in again, and this is up in the air over mid-wicket. It's going to land safe. Josh Cobb jogging back towards the signal box away to our left-hand side. They turn down the third run, I beg your pardon. Lifted up over the leg side by Thacker. Didn't time it at all well, but got enough bat on it to get it up over the infield. But only for a couple of runs. Does bring the 100 up. 101 without loss. Great start here for the Pakistanis. Thacker has 62, Imam 36. And after 15 overs, the Pakistanis are going very well indeed. Here on BBC Sport Online. Myself, Alex Winter, and Nikesh Rukhani with you here on the Kent Turner Stand balcony.
Yeah, after 15 overs, both scoreboards now in sync with each other. 101 without loss. Bakr Zaman 62, as you say. Imam ul Haq at the other end, going nicely as well on 36. 274 the target as Ian Holland continues. And this time Imam down the wicket and dispatches this one over long on. Runs into the crowd there on the opposite side of the ground. And Imam ul Haq getting in on the action as well. Seen some big hitting from these two so far. Does look a good wicket to bat on. No sideways movement. Certainly not now when the ball's 15 overs old. But even early on, not much in it for the bowlers. Imam on to 42 now as Holland comes into it again. He guides this to backward point. No run. Got deep mid-wicket fielder. Long on has gone back out, right onto the boundary. A deep cover and a fine leg as well. So Holland comes in to Imam again, who just flicks this round the corner to fine leg for a single. 108 without loss. Imam on to 43 with that one. Fakhar Zaman 62, second half century for him in as many matches on this tour of England. 76 in the first match against Kent at the weekend. So carrying on his very good form. Pakistan will be hoping he doesn't use up all his runs before the World Cup starts. He's on strike now and drives through extra cover, 4 more runs. It was a full delivery from Ian Holland, and Fakhar Zaman didn't try and overhit that one, just leant into it, and it was all timing. All the way along the carpet for another boundary. More chance of Pakistan Zindabad from across the far side of the ground. Lots of young Pakistani fans over there. The Pakistan batting coach over to our right, Grant Flower, looking very pleased indeed with his openers so far. Holland into Zaman again, drives straight back down the ground, almost into his partner Imam ul Haq, and it's going to be 4 runs. Imam dropped his bat as that ball came flying towards him. Managed to get out of the way, and it's another boundary for Fakhar Zaman. Back-to-back 4s. He moves on to 70 now. Pakistan motoring on 116 without loss in the 16th over. In comes Holland once again to Zaman, who just dabs this into the offside, and they scamper through for a quick single. Good running there from both this Pakistani pair. And that's the end of the 16th over. Pakistan 117 without loss, chasing 274 for victory. As the Pakistani 12th man just runs on with a change of gloves and a drink. The 2 batsmen out there. It's turned very cloudy once again here in Northampton. It was a cloudy start to the day, had a few spells of sunshine in the early afternoon. Not a lot of blue sky up above, just a few little gaps in between the clouds. It looks like some pretty high clouds. No real dark colour to them, so no danger of rain, I don't think. In any case, Pakistan well ahead of the Duckworth-Lewis pass or at this stage. 16 overs gone, 117 without loss. And it's going to be Mohammad Azharullah to continue. With Fakhar Zaman back on strike, unbeaten on 71. Good opportunity for him to get a big one on the board today. So Azharullah starts his run up. That's the umpire, and into Zaman, who guides this one backward of point, but well fielded down there, no run. It's a chance, I suppose, for somebody like Fakhar Zaman in this situation with not a lot of runs left to chase down, to just spend some time at the crease as well. We all know about his quick-fire scoring, and he certainly scored quickly enough today. As Azharullah comes in and just flicks this one backward of square for a single. It's a good chance for him just to spend more time in English conditions, spend some time out in the middle. Series against England starting at the weekend. First T20, or the only T20 in Cardiff. Got a warm-up T20, of course, at Leicester on Wednesday. 6:30 start that one. And there's one day as against England before the all-important World Cup. Azharullah comes into Imam this time, who just flicks this down to fine leg for another single. 119 without loss now. Imam on to 44 after that. There have been a few miscues in this innings from both of these batsmen. Also been plenty off the middle of the bat as well. Azarullah comes in once again to Fakhr this time, who dabs this down towards the mid-wicket fielder. No run.
Yeah, we're just looking up Azarullah here, playing for Porthill Park last season. He helped them to the title in the North Staffordshire and South Cheshire League. Porthill Park winning it very comfortably, winning 13 of their 22 matches.
And he comes again, Azarullah, to Fakhr Zaman onto his pads and into the leg side. Jog through for another run. Got some bat on it, giving us runs. Fakhr Zaman on to 73 now. And he comes once again. Imam on strike and just dabs this one straight back to him. No run. A few more faces in the covered stand over to our left now. So it gets a little bit nippier out in the open. Not much of a breeze now here in Northampton, but plenty of cloud cover. That's the end of the 17th over. Pakistan 120 without loss, chasing 274 for victory. Fakhr Zaman 73 not out. Imam ul Haq 44.
Tom Sole.
So Tom Sole's off spin going to get a go here, and he made quite the introduction here 2 years ago against the South Africans, where I think Hashim Amla was his first wicket. It's not a bad first scalp.
Absolutely, one of the greats.
It was his first team debut back May 2017.
It's always a great opportunity, these tour matches, for the younger players who get the opportunity. I remember 3 or 4, maybe 5 years back now, Shiv Thakur, when he was playing for Leicestershire, getting Virat Kohli out clean bowled at Grace Road. Sole comes in to Zaman, who just defends this straight back to him. No run. Coffee stand doing good business over to our right now. Sole in once again, and this one again defended into the onside. No run.
Breaking news, Ben Duckett has been called up to the England squad for the ODI against Ireland and the T20 against Pakistan.
Good news. Former Northants player, of course. This one driven by Zaman through the covers. They're going to look for 2. Bit of work to do for this sweeper out there, and they get through comfortably in the end.
The Northants chief executive will be rubbing his hands together. He plays for England. There'll be a few pounds coming Northants' way.
So into Zaman again, who drives down towards long off for another single.
Someone has pointed out on Twitter that Duckett's initial misdemeanours saw him out of the England reckoning, and now he's taken the place of another who's fallen foul.
This one cut away by Imam, backward of point. It's racing away down towards the boundary, but I think it's going to just be cut off, is it? Oh, nearly. Nearly. A good effort by the fielder down there, diving away, trying to pull that one in back inside the rope. Got his hand to it, but the ball trickling into the boundary nonetheless. So another boundary to Pakistan, this time to Imam ul Haq, who moves on to 48. Pakistan 127 without loss now.
James Vince is the batsman called up to replace Hales in the squad for the ODIs against Pakistan.
Soul into Imam, this time just skewed away to the point fielder, no run. That's the end of the 18th over. Pakistan, in their pursuit of 274, are 127 without loss.
David Malan also in the squad for the ODI against Ireland and the T20 against Pakistan. But a return for Ben Duckett, which is interesting. Had a decent winter. Wasn't a particularly successful winter for England in India. But earns his recall. Few runs in the One Day Cup so far. FM update now for BBC Radio Northampton listeners. Pakistan in complete control of this chase here. They're 127 without loss in the 18th over, chasing 274 to win. Their chase being led by the hard-hitting Fakhar Zaman, who's 76 not out, and Imam ul Haq, the nephew of the Pakistan legend Inzamam ul Haq, is with him on 48 not out. Earlier, Josh Cobb made a career-best 146 not out for Northants, but found no support at all. Cobb's 12 boundaries and 6 sixes, helping Northants to 273 for 6, but at the moment looks being well short of a competitive total because Fakhar and Imam have put Pakistan in position 127 without loss in the 19th over now.
As we see another single there to Fakhar Zaman. He's on to 77, 128 without loss now, Pakistan, in the 19th over. Slightly quieter passage of play this. So Azarullah makes his way in to Imam ul Haq this time. This one just flicked into the leg side. It's a deep backward square leg for a single. Yeah, he does take an awful long time to get back to his bowling mark, does Azarullah.
Yeah, they tell the story of when he made his debut at Loughborough before, what must have been the 2012 season perhaps. And they said, well, we've got 3.5 minutes to bowl these each over.
Again now to Zaman, who drives straight back down the ground, beats the diving mid-off fielder. Is it going to be saved? No, 4 runs. Got a hand to it there. Did Brett Hutton, I think it was. But enough power on that from Fakhar Zaman to take it all the way to the boundary. 4 more.
And as I said, okay, minutes, and was smiling to himself when he began his last delivery at the 3.3 minute mark. Only to be told, no, Azza, we've got to be ready for the start of the next over in 3.5 minutes.
So now again to Zaman, who drives again down the ground, but hits Imam ul Haq's bat on its way through. So a dot ball in the end.
But a really lovely fella. He's always got time for everybody. He's not a great athlete by any stretch of the imagination. He's a bit of a liability in the field and offers nothing with the bat at all. But he is a very crafty, skillful bowler, and it's been a good spell so far.
It has indeed. Into his 5th over here. Into Zaman again, who hoiks this one out towards deep mid-wicket. And that's 4 runs. It was a bit of a slog from Fakhar Zaman, but we're used to seeing them off the bat when he's on strike, and got enough contact on that to clear mid-wicket and into the boundary rope for 4 more runs to finish off Azarullah's 5th over. He's conceded the 26 runs so far. 2 boundaries, slightly ruining his figures just a touch. But Pakistan motoring along once again, 137 without loss now after 19 overs.
Yeah, the first 2 boundaries that Az has gone for in his spell, I think he'll be pretty pleased so far. If he can try and find a breakthrough, end up with a couple of wickets maybe, it'll be a steady return. I doubt there'll be anything permanent for him again here at Wantage Road. But they are in need of maybe one body for the remainder of the One Day Cup, with injuries just beginning to bite. As it could be the man, you never know.
comes Tom Sol rather. And that's a single into the offside for Imam ul Haq. And round of applause as he reaches his 50.
For Imam ul Haq.
Raises his bat towards the Pakistan dressing room, looks up to the heavens. And both Pakistan batsmen here making half centuries. Imam ul Haq onto 50. Fakhar Zaman at the other end, 85 not out. Sol comes back round spin to Zaman, who just drives gently down towards long on. Jog through for another single. Been quite sensible today, the Pakistanis. Not the issue too much, just put away the bad balls. This time Imam driving through the offside towards deep cover for another single. The boundaries seem to have come in flurries today. There's been some quiet appearance. Back-to-back boundaries. Sol into Fakhar Zaman, who defends this one, straight back to him. No run. And again, this time shorter and cut away by Zaman out to the deep cover fielder for a single. I think Sol may have seen him just shimmying down the wicket just a touch. Dragged it shorter and wider of the off stump, had Zaman reaching for that one. And he is now to Imam, this time full and wrapped on the pads, and an LBW shout. Perhaps sliding down the leg side. Confirmation of Imam ul Haq's half century, coming just from subdued than Fakhar Zaman.
So both these players built in a steady start at Beckenham on Saturday. Imam made 39, Fakhar 76. And Flower,
on the pavilion end, Nathan Buck.
Pakistan batting coach to our right hand side. Enjoying what I'll be seeing here, no doubt. So 141 without loss. And as are being replaced at this Wantage Road end, 5 overs, no maiden. 26, decent effort on his return. The extra pace of Nathan Buck for his second spell of the day. Goes charging into Fakhar Zaman, who pushes gently down towards mid-off. Brett Hutton is there, and there is no run. So just what they would have wanted here. Runs for this opening pair. Now I suppose it is what to do on Wednesday against Leicestershire. Had that T20 against England at the weekend down in Cardiff. As Buck moves in once more, right arm over, driven firmly but only as far as mid-on this time. And there is no run. Could be a first 11 to play England at the weekend, or try to get some of the other players who haven't had runs so far more of a go. You would think here may be that if Fakhar does get to 100 he might retire.
Yeah, possibly so. I certainly expect him to play in Leicester on Wednesday.
Buck, short sleeve shirt untucked. Goes in, bowls a bumper, pull, top edge down to long leg, fielder running in, oh, he doesn't get there. Running off that fence, And I think that's a catch that should have been taken down there.
Well, he just stopped himself, didn't he? He was running in at full pelt and all of a sudden decided, no, he's not going to go for it.
It's Ben Cohen running off the boundary. One of the better fielders out there for Northants. Very surprising. Like you say, he just stopped. Full sprint in, appeared to be getting there, and the ball landed a couple of yards in front of him. So Faka survives, goes to 88, 142 without loss, and Buck charges in again past the umpire. And Imam just cleverly running this down to long leg. As it was down in the distance. Turning and throwing back to Adam King, who's behind the stumps here for Northants. Ricardo Vasconcelos, having left the ground earlier on today after a pretty nasty blow to the head, it must be said. So not keeping wicket in this second innings of the game as Buck goes in again. This is pulled away by Faka, back at a square, and that rockets away for 4. Towards the bank of yellow seats, towards the county pub. Another vicious strike from Faka Zaman, and he's now into the 90s, goes to 92, 147 without loss in the 21st over. Vicious striking once again, Nikesh.
Yeah, onto that one, just slightly short again from Nathan Buck, and as we keep saying, Faka Zaman onto anything that's either slightly too short, slightly too wide, slightly over pitch. You don't need to get it too far wrong for Faka Zaman to take advantage.
Buck goes in again, and this is another pull towards deep square. It lands just short of the fielder and wide of Charlie Thurston's dive as well. And it goes away for 4 more. Nathan Buck stands hands on hips in the middle of the pitch. His figures taking a bit of a beating now. Fakir goes on his merry way, is now within touching distance of his century. 96 not out from only 76 balls. His 14th boundary there. And Pakistan 1-5-1 without loss after 21 overs. At the moment, they're going to win at an absolute canter.
Absolutely. Faka Zaman on to 96. As we were saying a moment or so ago, may well decide to retire if he gets to his 100. Plenty of Pakistani batsmen waiting in the wings, looking for an opportunity to spend some time out there in the middle in English conditions. Well, it would be a shame for a lot of the Pakistan fans that have come in here today. Seen some wonderful hitting from Faka Zaman this afternoon.
So 1-5-1 without loss. And Tom Sole to continue from the far end. With his off spin, comes in right arm round, and Imam is forward, just pushing gently back up towards the bowler. And there is no run. Long off, deep cover and deep square out here for Imam. He goes back to cut and finds backward point. No run again. But simply little Northants can do to try and force a breakthrough here. It was a bit of swing first up. Bowled brilliantly, it must be said, as this is turned away by Imam. Just back at a square on the leg side. Hutton going across towards the groundsman shed to collect. And they get a single more. Imam goes to 53, 152 without loss in the 22nd over here. And it brings Faka Zaman back on strike on 96 not out. Will he try to go to his 100 in style? Sol comes in from the far end and he cuts and gets it through square point. And this is running away to the fence, and that's Faka's century. And he's played superbly well here. One of the brightest talents in the world game. Certainly one of the most electric to watch bat. And has provided excellent entertainment to this Wanty-Dro crowd, particularly those Pakistani supporters on the far side of the ground. Goes through to 3 figures. 1-5-6 without loss, Pakistan. Sol into him again, much straighter, and just pushed back up the pitch for no run. But a great innings, Nikesh.
Absolutely wonderful striking from Fakhar Zaman. Great entertainment for the British Pakistanis here today as well.
Comes down the pitch now, whips this through mid-wicket. And Zay is running away from deep square. And they get a single to end the over. So 157 without loss. Fakhar has 101. No signs just yet that he's going to retire.
Much to the delight of the Pakistani supporters in here today.
And 1 6.
There you go, 15 boundaries and a 6. Just the 1-6 so far for Fakhar Zaman, but the 15 boundaries, staggering. And absolutely motoring away here with this one, Pakistan. 157 without loss thanks to that century. Unbeaten century so far from Fakhar Zaman.
So 157 without loss, and Buck continuing and getting slammed down the ground. Oh goodness, that almost took Buck's head off in his follow through. Finds mid-on and there's no run, but that was slammed back down the ground by Fakhar. And Buck in the end did jolly well to get beneath it. Fiercely struck.
Maybe he's been told, I mean he does play that way anyway, but maybe he's been told a couple of more overs and you're off, mate.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself while you're out there.
Just takes his helmet off now and it's going to take a moment or so to gather himself once more. Changing the field, third man's coming up and long on is going back. There's a long leg deep cover and deep square here for Buck, whose overs have proved expensive. Into his 5th now. He's gone for 38 runs so far. Runs in again to Fakhar Zaman. Slower ball than he takes out the off stump. So the fun comes to an end for Fakhar Zaman. And Nathan Buck has got him with a really clever slow ball there. Fakhar giving himself some room, shuffling outside his leg stump. And Buck deceiving him, taking pace off the ball. And he takes out the off stump. So Fakhar has gone, but not after a wonderful century here today. Provided great entertainment. Has made 101. And Pakistan finally lose a wicket with a score on 157.
Yeah, good bit of bowling there from Nathan Buck. Slower delivery, and Fakhar looking for another expansive shot. Completely deceived by the change of pace there, and he has to depart. I wonder if he was told anyway by the dressing room that